OK, let's discuss the situation in Idlib now with Sreeram Chaulia, who's Professor and Dean of India's Jindal School of International Affairs. Welcome, Sreeram. We just mentioned there the reports of Turkey withdrawing heavy weaponry. Does that mean that the de-escalation is now well underway?
One would hope so, Neil, because President Erdogan has been overambitious and he intervened militarily and tried to penetrate deep into sovereign Syrian territory. And he has suffered military losses. I think his geopolitical ambition needs to be tempered. So it's good that he has realized the limitations of Turkish military expansion, and he is now looking to, step back from the brinkmanship. So I think the deal he struck with President Putin is a constructive one. It will help, first of all, to stop the military clashes. And secondly, it will achieve Turkey's goal of reducing the further exodus of Syrian refugees into Turkey. Already Turkey is hosting close to 4 million refugees. So I think President Erdogan should rethink his strategy of using the military to gain more and more influence in Syria. I think the Arabs can take care of their problems. Ultimately, they have to. They don't want Turkish intervention, which brings back the ghosts of neo-Ottoman, empire and Turkish domination over the Levant. So I think this should hold, and if they understand their limitations and be realistic, instead of being grandiose in their ambitions, the Turkish, I think we will find a way to de-escalate and to stop the refugee exodus, stop the violence, and enable the Syrians to be able to take back control over their sovereign territory. And most importantly, what to do with these 30,000 or more jihadist fighters who have been allied with Turkey all along, and which Erdogan is still trying to save them. That, I think, ultimately is the problem, because even though the ceasefire has happened now, the fate of these Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and this jihadist group, which is allied with al-Nusra and with al-Qaeda, what happens to them? The Turkish proxies, ultimately they have to be disbanded and disarmed. Otherwise, there can be no lasting peace or solution in this region in Idlib.
You talk about lasting solution. Just how secure do you think that this peace is? Would it take much for the violence to flare up again?
Well, I think, as I said, the force assessment has to happen. I think the joint patrolling with the Russians is a good idea, because then it will reduce the chances for misunderstanding and miscommunication on the ground, because the Syrian forces are advancing, and if Russia is there and is able to stabilize the situation by making sure the two sides, the Syrian army and the Turkish army, are kept at some distance and do not engage in direct confrontations, I think that will help to bring down the temperature, because the big problem right now in Idlib is that, earlier the Turkish were using proxies like Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, but now they have intervened directly and are engaging in direct clashes with the Syrian military. And that's not good news, because if it is a proper interstate war, the stakes become higher, the level of the violence is higher, the engagement becomes higher, and people suffer more as a result of this.
Many thanks. My guest this hour, Sreeram Chaulia from the Jindal School of International Affairs. Thank you.